Hi there, my name is Naidoo, and I'm making this video for you because I care. I truly do care. I'm making this video for all the patients out there whose doctor has told them that they have an incurable condition. Yes, I do know what that feels like. But first, let's think about this a little bit. This incurable condition. We are sitting here today with advancements in medical science that are really, truly mind-blowing. Yet, patient after patient is receiving news that they have conditions like diabetes, autoimmune diseases, the multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. The list goes on and on of conditions patients out there are really battling with. So now I want you to think about something. You know, we go to our doctors and they've been very clear with us. We really have no idea what causes the illness and we have no idea how to take it away. There is no cure. Yet we continuously bang on their doors, looking and insisting that they fix us up. Now, I did the same. You know, I was also looking for answers from my medical doctor. I was also looking for answers from the pharmaceutical industry. I was upset, you know. My husband is in the pharmaceutical industry. We are owners of a community pharmacy. So we are very well versed in terms of what meds are out there, what's available in the market. And when I was diagnosed with 4 incurable conditions, it was the first that I had to experience what's it like to know that I have a symptom where medical science says it will never go away. Now here's the thing. The fact that medical science, the doctor said, we cannot help you. Why on earth do we continue to bang on their doors, insisting that they should help us? You know, this reminds me of a story of an old lady who lived in a little hut not far from the street light, and this particular day she was under the lamppost looking for something she had lost, and a passerby noticed her searching and decided to help her. So he started looking as well. And so he asked her, what exactly are you looking for? It was a needle that she lost. So they were looking intently, and eventually he says, tell me exactly where you lost the needle. And she says, no, I lost it there in my hut. He says, why are you looking out here under the street light for it? And she replied, because it's brighter out here. Are we doing the same thing? When the answer is inside, are we continuously looking for it on the outside? Yes, we are. And I was in that space too, until I had a handful of medications. And my husband looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, Marla, when are you going to realize that the drugs are not working for you? You know, and I looked at him and said, well, Raj, what else can I do? And he says, no, you know what to do. Go in, find the answer. You have the knowledge. And here's why he said that. I was fortunate enough to be blessed with an education that allowed me to investigate further. My knowledge on chemical pathology, my knowledge on quantum physics, on the power of the mind, it really helped me to really look at exactly how to approach these 4 incurable conditions. You know, I'm really grateful to my dad who taught me the love of reading, the love of knowledge. It was his, I remember finding the book next to his bedside. It was John Kehoe's The Power of the Mind. And looking at that book, I realized, hey, there's something really interesting about the human body. And that's where it all started in the 1990s. And for the past, 25 years, I've really dived into exactly how our thoughts are affecting our cells. I was really blown away with how wonderful the human body is, how miraculous it is, you know. My superpower is being human. If we think we can swallow a pill and change all the chemical reactions in the body, then we got another thing coming. The human body is made in ways that some medical science is still so puzzled about. I mean, think about it. We are made from a single cell from our mother and a single cell from our Father. That's it. One cell and one cell that's created us. This is who we are. All the genetic information that is needed to become us was preserved in that single cell. Now that itself is such a miracle. And we've been going on. Our body is creating, it's changing, it's growing. It is so dynamic. And when I looked at that, I said, no, come on. We are definitely missing something else here. Why is science continuously telling us there is no cure? Because the way science looks at the human body is not the way we need to look at the human body when diagnosed with an incurable condition. Actually, doctors have given us the secret. When they say incurable, we need to go in to make it curable. There in itself is a huge answer. So when I looked at these factors, I actually came up with 3 very simple ways to shift out of a space where I was riddled with symptoms. Now, I'm diagnosed with fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. For those of you that know MS, are quite familiar with the condition and will know that once you're diagnosed with secondary progressive MS, doctors tell us those symptoms will not go away. I'm sitting here today after going through an incredible journey of letting go of these horrendous symptoms to be in a space where I am mostly symptom-free. Yes, there are things that do still trigger me, but I've worked it out. I lose my balance. I know what to do to come back to center. So for all those patients out there who have decided, who have given up on life, the doctors have told them there's nothing more you can do, from their side, it doesn't mean there's nothing you and I can do about it. There is so much. So what is it that I've discovered that has made such a massive change in my life? There are 3 very, very simple things, and that's food, our environment, and stress. Yes, I'm sure if you say this to your doctor will say, of course, we all know this. That's what affects the human body. But hold on. Have you taken the opportunity, have you taken time out to really address these 3 elements in our body? The food we are eating, the environment that's triggering us. With me, with MS, the environment, the heat brings on symptoms, flashing lights bring on symptoms, and loud sounds really increase the tingling in the body. So these are symptoms that we need to be aware, these are triggers that we need to be aware of. So where did this all start? When I was diagnosed with MS, it was the first time that I've ever heard of the condition. I was so pleased that we got a diagnosis, because for 3 months I was just riddled with symptoms, and I kept being sent back home to say, you know what, from all our tests, we cannot pick up anything. And it was only when the MRI was done that we discovered there are lesions in the brain, and of course we picked up lesions in the spine as well. Now, when I asked my doctor, when he told me, Mrs. Naidoo, you're actually diagnosed with MS, you have MS, and I went, right, doc, what can we do about it? I was so excited that I got a diagnosis finally. And he just shook his head and he says, no, there is no cure, and I have no idea how to, what caused it. So I said, oh, really? Then I thought, oh, I've been diagnosed with something fairly new then, because doctors know nothing about it. And once I reached the stage where I could actually go to Uncle Google and find out, you can imagine my shock and horror when I discovered that the first case of multiple sclerosis entered the medical books in 1868 by a professor called Dr. Charcot. He looked at a patient, he did an autopsy on an MS patient, and he described the lesions and he described the symptoms. That's exactly the way medical science sees the condition today. 153 years later, we still have no answer as to what caused the disease, and there is no cure. So come on, I'm inviting you to stop knocking at a door that is saying no over and over and over again. 153 years. How much longer do you want to wait? There is something we can do. Come on, I'm inviting you to join me on this journey. When you look at food, food is something we are all in control of. When I investigated food, I started investigating the leaky gut, and it was such a revelation to discover that the food I was eating was playing a massive part in the way my body was responding and played a massive role to contributing to my symptoms. As soon as I changed the food I was eating, my symptoms started to disappear. Now, all this information is in a book that I've written. I've written this book more as a message to myself, to remind myself never to go back to that place. I reminded myself how hurtful it was, what the tingling felt like. You know, the headaches were so excruciating. I had to have nerve blocks done in my head, and that's where anesthetic is injected into my scalp. It was really painful. I mean, things like that were happening because I was doing the wrong things. Yes, I'm diagnosed with MS. We're still trying to find out what causes it. Medical science have discovered there's a gene link to it now. There's also the leaky gut, whether it's a virus that's causing it. We don't know. But let's forget about that for a moment. Let's figure out what caused it. I want you to look at what's making it worse. What's causing the relapse? And I believe there is something we all can do to stop the relapses, to minimize the amount of pain we're going through. Because we are now re-triggering our condition. You know, with MS patients, when there's a flare-up, we get sent to hospital. The doctor puts us on a massive dose of prednisone. That's like 200 prednisone tablets a day via the drip for 5 days. It's 1,000 milligrams. That's a massive dose for the human body. But it manages to shut down the immune system, which we believe is attacking our body. Now think about that for a moment. You know, the immune system is there to keep us alive on the inside. It protects us. Now suddenly it's okay to shut down the most important protective system in our body. And that's okay with us? I couldn't gel with that. It really didn't make sense to me. You know, the human body is made from divine intelligence. There's intelligence that grew, that brought these two cells together and made me. And that intelligence knows how to heal me. So I decided, let me get out of the body's way. Let me give the body nutrition that really is helpful. It brings out the joy in my body. I didn't want to stress my body out when it came to food. It was easy to let go of the junk, but then I had to really look at other triggers with the food I was eating. Now, all this information is in the book I wrote, and I'm not giving you the name of the book because this video is not to promote my book. This video is to help patients who feel there is no way they can get better, because I think that is not true. Diagnosed with these 4 conditions, I must tell you, in the hospital, my neurologist brought his peers to have a look at this patient. They could not believe I could be so ill and still being able to be alive, you know? It was just unbelievable how riddled I was with symptoms. I'm not going through all the symptoms. That will take up another hour of this video. The point is, I did something about it. I looked at the food, I looked at my triggers, I looked at the environment, and then the third massive trigger is stress. Yes, stress. And of course, I can hear you already saying, but Marla, you don't know my stress. Yes, I don't know your stress. You could be going through real hell right now in terms of your environment, your family, your work scenario. It must be really tough for you out there. But here's the thing about stress. Stress is nothing more than our response to the outside environment. So if we change the way we're responding to the outside environment, we are changing the way our body feels in that stressful situation. Now, this is something we all have control over. So you don't have to fix the drama on the outside. That's fine. Let the drama happen. We are 100% in charge on the drama going on the inside of us. And I invite you to start looking at this, to start becoming extremely strict about the food you are eating, the environment that's triggering you, and of course, we need to look at how we can let go of the drama on the outside and bring ourselves to a space of absolute bliss on the inside. We can do this. You know, there are techniques out there. There's breathing techniques, there's Indian classical music, there's meditation. The list goes on and on. Find what works for you. I found what works for me. Today, I'm able to dance again. I'm out of the wheelchair. I'm driving. I'm walking. I'm having fun. I'm socializing again. I just make sure I stay away from these triggers. It's an incredible journey. So I want you to look at life from a different space. We need transformation. We need change. When diagnosed with a condition that where doctors says it's incurable, you cannot continue doing the same things and expecting a different result. That's not fair to the human body. So as soon as you decide, okay, I want to do this, I want to change. Yes, if you go out there and say, but Mala, we didn't have your support structure to do what you've done. Okay, I agree with that. I have a tremendous support team around me. I have a family that's really, we all agree with the triggers. It's written all over the house. My extended family are educated on it. My friends are educated on what triggers me. Nobody gets upset when I have to get up from an event and leave because they understand. I've explained it to them. And I invite you to do the same. We need to empower those around us on things that make us ill. But first, we need to take the step to stop doing the things that are hurting us. I really invite you to put in the effort and go out there and find the foods that are hurting your body. Think about it. The food we eat becomes us. If we eat a banana 2 hours later, you can dissect the human body, you will not find that banana. The human body has the ability to break it down completely to its constituents and rebuild using these elements to build us. So we need our food, but we need the correct food. Do not eat foods that are hurting you. When diagnosed with an incurable condition, on the inside now, we're not like the rest of the world. Our system needs a little bit more TLC. And it's left to us to provide that TLC. Stop looking for this help on the outside. I invite you to, be courageous, have the faith, and decide, what, I can do this. There's enough information out there online. If you truly want to find a way to live a symptom-free life, I believe you can. I'm counting on you. Let's do this together.